Hello everyone. So in the last video we have seen how we can use this digital input, especially our pull down scenario, and how we can use an if condition to check the current digital input value, whether it is high or low, or whether it is 0 or 1, or whether it is ground or what do you call plus 5 voltage, and we have given a serial output accordingly. Okay, so you have a proper idea about that now, I hope. So now what we will do is we will create a circuit and we will switch on and switch off an LED depending on the input of the switch. So that means the same if conditions, when the button is pressed we will switch on an LED, and the button is not pressed, we will switch off an LED. So you know, in the digital input pull down, when the button is not pressed, okay, when the button is not pressed the value is low initially. When the button is pressed the value is high, right, 1. So we have to switch on the LED when the button is pressed, so inside the else part, or we can convert this to 1 and we can have it as else here and switch off here. Okay, so what I will do is I will quickly show you the circuit first. So I have created a circuit, so I will zoom out a little bit so that it's clear to you. So forget about these connections if it is messing you. So just you already know this switch and also this resistor scenario, because we have seen it in the previous scenario video as well. So the button is this downside 2 dots are in the same connection and the upper side 2 dots are in the same connection. So there is a gap between where this downside 2 and upside 2. When you press the button, the downside 2 are connected with the upside 2. Okay, that means all the 4 dots will be together. So you know that. So now initially we know like this resistor is connected to ground, and initially it is ground, right, the pin number 2. Okay, pin number 2 is the one we are going to take the digital input. So up to here it is going to be ground. Okay, up to here and here everywhere. So when you press the button, what will happen is this button other side is connected to plus 5, so plus 5 will go here, connection is created, so plus 5 will go here, and the pin state will become plus 5, and the plus 5, the resistor will bear the plus 5. That means one side of the resistor will be plus 5, otherwise the side will be ground. So resistor will bear, in the sense, handle the plus 5, or it will how we can say, like bearing a weight. So you can lift a weight and you can hold it with you, right? So you bear the weight. So like that, resistor will hold the voltage difference within itself. Okay, okay, that's fine. So apart from that, we have created a separate circuit now. So nothing but connecting pin number 7 to a resistor 330 ohm, and we connect it to a LED, and the other side of the LED is going to ground. Very simple. Okay, so now what I want to happen is I have the LED scenario, so that when I press the button the LED should be on, when I release the button LED should go off. That's all. So the LED is connected to pin number 7. So I will again come here and I will say, okay, when I press the button, what is the state? So you know, when you press the button, as I explained you now, when I press the button, the state will become state of the pin will go to plus 5, right? That means high, that means 1. So what I will do is I will write an if condition. Okay, so that means we digital read the value of the x now, and if x is 1, okay, I want to switch on the LED. Okay, so what I will do is, let's say I am connecting an LED to pin number 7, so I will say digital write 7 high. That's fine, right? So then I will have an else means, because I know the input value or digital input value can become either 1 or 0. There are no other options. So if there is 1, else will be obviously 0. Okay, so 0 means the button is released. So you have to switch off the LED, right? So what you will do, you come here and change it to low. So I'm not explaining it that much, because we have done these things a lots of times, right? So one thing is missing. I have to add the pin mode for the LED. I'm sorry, pin mode 7 as usual output. Okay, nice. So I'm removing this part. Okay, so now it should be working. So I will quickly do a compiling and see whether it is error free or not by coding standards, or error free code or not. So the logic is fine, right? So if the button is pressed means from 0 to 1 it goes. So if it is 1, state is 1, I know button is pressed, so that means I have to switch on the LED. Else means other state. What is that? 0 state. That means button is released or the initial state. So at the time I have to switch off the LED, that's all. So it's a simple if else condition, right? If you want, I can give a space so that it will be much clear to you. See, it's a simple if and else. Okay, if you want, I can remove that comment so that it will look neat to you. Okay, that's fine, right? So yeah, let's keep it. So I'll copy the code. Since it is successfully compiling, you can see done compiling here. I'll copy the code. I will paste it here. Okay, so let's see what happens. So let's do a simulation. Okay, so I haven't pressed the button now, so now I will do a small zoom in. Okay, so I'm going to press the button and let's see what happens. See, I press the button. Now I release the button. See, LED goes off. So I will zoom in again so that you can see the press also. See, look at the button. I have pressed it and I am keep pressing it. So LED is on. Now I'm going to release it. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I released. LED goes off. So you can see a small shadow around the button, that pressing part. So when the shadow is showing, that means the button is released. When you press the button, the shadow will disappear. You see the arrow, right? The mouse cursor. See, there's a shadow. So when I press it, the shadow will disappear. See, shadow is not there. So that means I am pressing it. So that means at that time you can look at the LED. LED is on. When I release the mouse cursor, the shadow will appear now under the button's pressing part. At the time, LED will be off. See this? See, LED goes off and the shadow is appearing here, right? You see the shadow, right? So again, I press it, LED on. I release it, LED goes off. The off scenario may be a little slow because of, I think, the simulation environment, and you know, sometimes it takes time to take the response. But in the real world, when you are connecting the same circuits with the Arduino, and you will find this is working very perfect. At the very moment you press, it is on. At the very moment you release, it is off. Okay, on, off. You see it? On, off. Got it? So when I press it, this if condition works. When I release it, the else condition works. Very simple, that's all. And at every moment void loop runs and this value is being read. So that is how it works. Then only it understands every time when I press or release, because it reads every moment and it evaluates the if else condition, and it implements that as well. Okay guys, so press, release. Very cool, right? So guys, I hope you understood the concept. So please consider subscribing us, and I will catch you up in the next video. Stay safe guys.